Hey, what's up, guys? We're back here with Angel. We're gonna finish up our interview and our podcast. It was a continuation on our conversation that we were having. So let's move on to the next one. You ready?
Yeah.
Every artisan, including myself, has a moment when the work humbles them. What was the toughest plaster project you ever faced, and what did it teach you? That's a good one, right? That's a hard question.
Do I talk about showers again?
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, so I had this one house. We came in to redo a shower that somebody else did. It was cracking. I'm like, oh, they just didn't put fiberglass mesh. Let's do that. I did it. It kept cracking. I'm like, huh, why is it cracking? Let's do more mesh. Did it again. 3 times. Crack again.
So you put 2 coats of mesh on there, and it still cracked the second time. In the same place, or was it in different places?
Different places.
Huh.
And not only that, I made mistakes. So on top of me like being freaking out, I got in my head, and I had an A part and a B part, and I put 2 A's together, and I did it, and I rolled it on the wall, and the whole wall's white. So I'm like, I'm ready to go home, and I made the whole shower white. I'm like, I can't believe I just did that. And so I had to go tell the homeowner I made a big mistake, and I messed up her shower, so I have to start over.
So this was the guy that you went in to fix this shower that was cracked that someone else did.
How to make it worse? It just made it worse.
Oh man!
And
it takes a lot of humility for you to say this online, Bird. I want to
feel
point
so
that
bad
out,
about it. I
guys,
feel so
because
bad
not a lot
about
of us want to talk about
I
stuff
feel
like
so bad
that. So
about
these are really hard questions to answer, especially when you have to talk about your mistakes that you make. So
Yeah, that was probably one of my hardest jobs I ever done.
yeah,
Just because of the situation, and come to find out, I was dealing with bad cards the whole time.
yeah,
Like the plaster wasn't gonna work.
right.
I did it 5, 6 times. It worked for a little bit, and then it stopped working. And then tell the homeowner that we had to find a different solution.
Right.
That's probably not me.
So after all these years of doing showers now,
Yeah.
would you say you got a system packed down now that you can trust in, that you feel comfortable
Yeah,
with?
yeah.
That's what we want.
Yeah, we fixed our problems.
And that's, what? Honestly, trial and error, that's what makes you good. You can't get good without mistakes. That's the truth.
Yeah.
And any person that knows something knows if you don't fail, if you don't mess up, you don't learn anything.
Yeah.
You don't learn anything.
And I've done so much failure.
So you learned a lot. So now it's safe to say that you are an expert at doing showers. You can look at a shower and know, okay, this is going to require this, and that.
Yeah,
Right?
because I've done it all the wrong ways.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's interesting because, like I said, not a lot of people would be willing to admit that. But at the same time, if you do, and when you understand, that you're not always going to do it right, that doesn't matter who you are. I've been doing it a long time and I make mistakes. Things happen. There's things that can potentially go wrong on a job always. The fact that you're able to talk about that freely like that, I appreciate that. So let me see. Let's go to the next one. Get my glasses on. Sorry, guys. My eyes are kind of bad now. There's a saying in our industry that you don't choose the plaster, that the plaster chooses you. Do you believe that's true? Would you say, after all this conversation that we've been having, would you say that that's true?
I would say there's some truth to that. Correct me if it's different, but the way I understand that is plaster has to choose you because I see a ton of people quit.
Right.
So many people that come in just don't stay for one reason or another. People who end up staying are just too stubborn to pursue something easier.
Right.
There's so many things that you can do that are much easier than this.
Yeah.
And so I would say plaster does choose you because it requires a very specific person.
Yeah.
A person who is creative, person who is hardworking, person who doesn't, need to be glamorous where they work, because the finished product is glamorous, but the process isn't.
Right.
It's super dirty. It's you smell and it's
Yeah.
bad.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
Getting dirty. Because all the videos that I've made, I'm
Yeah.
always dirty.
Yeah. Yeah.
My tools are dirty. I've gotten some comments that were kind of mean
Sure.
on my Instagram.
I'm not
page.
gonna lie, you be getting real dirty.
I always get dirty. Hey, I clean up afterwards. I mask everything.
I
off,
know,
I
for
clean my
sure.
tools.
Yeah.
And I shower and I clean up pretty good. But what I'm getting at is I've gotten a few ugly comments,
Yeah.
regarding my tools being dirty, that
Yeah.
if you're a real applicator, you shouldn't be getting dirty.
I don't like that.
Me personally, the only response I can have to that is just basically when I do something, I get into it, and I don't care if I get dirty. I don't care if I get plaster in my hair, if I get it in my face, if I get it in my arm.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
do this. I want to get it done. I want to get to the other side of that wall,
Yeah. And I think it's different. Like, so I feel like some of the people who say that are using primarily one type of plaster. I would challenge any person who's a clean worker to use a cement-based thick plaster that doesn't even stick to your hawk and do a ceiling and see how that goes, you know, and then tell me
Yeah.
that you're being dirty. Because I've done some jobs. One product in particular I can remember is called Domingue. Keeping that stuff on your hawk, you tilt your hawk, it just slides off. So to keep it and to keep it on your trowel and to put it above your head.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I wasn't black anywhere. I was the color of the black.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I was dirty. It was just sometimes it doesn't work that way.
It's plaster.
Yeah, yeah.
It's plaster.
Like you should care more about the wall too, anyway.
Right. How the wall looks,
Yeah.
not how you're getting dirty. Even though, I mean, if you can avoid getting dirty, it's good.
It is better. I think in certain situations it makes sense. Like if you're an installer but you want to go have a meeting later, yeah, don't make it dirty.
Or just change.
Or change.
Or just change your shirt.
Yeah.
Hey, all of my clients, every time I show up dirty, they're like, "Oh man, you're working." Like, yeah, I'm working. You know? So it's like a,
Yeah.
you know.
I don't know. If I get my car dirty, my wife's gonna get mad.
Oh yeah, me too. But I got my truck. I've had it for 19 years, so
Yeah.
like I'm not worried about it.
The van, my
Plaster everywhere on the with the truck.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Let me see. What separates someone who simply applies plaster from someone who truly becomes an artisan? What do you think? What do you think about that?
I think it's just proficiency and understanding. Because you can have somebody that knows plaster per se, and then they do, you know, one finish, and you put them on a wall. You change the circumstances and variables, and then they're stuck. They get lost. Someone who's proficient, someone who's really an artisan, will know how to work within those parameters. Like when you're doing a wall, the wall will tell you what it needs. If you need to let off of it, if you need to keep pressing, if you need to put water, if you need to mix your bucket again, if you need to change the color. Like I think an artisan is someone who can look at it and figure it out as it goes. Because you get a lot of people who do a job and they won't notice until the end that something's messed up. And they're just putting it up.
Yeah.
They're just putting it up and they do it wrong. And
They get to the end of the wall and they're like, it's gone.
yeah, good. I did a good. Yeah. You know, they just apply plaster. Unfortunately, we see a lot of that in commercial. I walk like the mall and I look at the wall and I'm like, hey, there's a big hole missing in there.
Right.
Scratch marks.
Cold joints everywhere.
Somebody didn't sharpen your trowel.
Yeah.
You know, something crazy. And then you find somebody that, oh, that was hard. That little corner must have been really hard and it looks smooth. They took time. You know,
Right.
You know.
So you can see, right? You can see the effort that went into something when you look at someone's finish.
For
you
sure.
can see it.
I think so.
Yeah. Let's move on to the last one. Yeah. Then I want to talk to you about something. Let me see.
Okay.
This one is when someone says that they're lime burned. What do you think that really means? So let me rephrase the question a little bit, because lime burned, it's a fairly new concept, but it's been around for thousands of years.
Right. Yeah.
And the reason that I wanted to come to Colorado, first and foremost, it's not just because you're my son, it's because of the applications that you've been able to achieve in the last 10 years that you've actually taken this serious. Yes, you were raised on job sites with me and you ran around and you did applications here and there for me when you were little, when you were just a kid. And so one of the main reasons why I wanted to come here, it wasn't just because you're my son. I'm not being biased because I'm here. Your brother, right? Your brother Aaron, right?
Yeah.
He's just starting, even though he's been on job sites just as long as you, right? But Aaron, he's already there. He's already at that point where he's going to go through that threshold. He's making his own. He's getting really good at what he's doing, right? But he's starting, right? He's just starting with that, even though he's been doing it for a long time with me.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is that you've already become a master at what you're doing. You've been able to achieve the jobs that you've been able to get, and not just get them, but, execute them with success. Some you've had some issues with, obviously, we all do. And a lot of us don't want to admit it. So if you guys are out there, you guys know who I'm talking to. Next team.
Yeah, we all have.
Yeah, everybody sure has. Everybody has.
There's no way.
Well, what I'm getting at is that one of the main reasons why I wanted to come and talk to you was because I lime burned you. You've been lime burned, and so I wanted to make sure that, everyone that's out there that's enjoying the content that we're giving is able to see, the importance of passing it on, how now you're doing what you're doing, the craft that you're doing. It's humbling. For me, it's humbling. I appreciate it. I thank God, I thank God every day that he gave me this gift, and I was able to pass it on to you. And then you've taken it to a different level. Now you're your own artisan on your own. You've taken what I've taught you and you've made it better, and you've tweaked it, which is great, So it makes me proud, But I guess let me get to the question. How do you feel today knowing we've had this conversation in this last, 45 minutes or whatever we've been talking? How do you feel being Limeburn, like, being an artisan that can hold his own now in a city here in Colorado? You've made it yours. There's a lot of contractors out here. There's a lot of guys that are doing amazing work here in Colorado, as well. But you personally, you made Colorado yours, your own, and you're doing good here. How do you feel?
Well, first of all, thank you.
Mm.
Yeah. And it feels good. It feels good to be Limeburn. I think there's a certain pride that comes with it, and it's not a negative pride, but just knowing that you're carrying a torch of something different, something unique. There's not a lot of people that do it. Even here in Colorado, being a bigger state, there's only a handful of us. We all know each other. It's a privilege to be able to do it well, and to represent the industry, because most people don't know about it. And a lot of people, unfortunately, end up getting a short stick when they hire someone. So it's nice to be able to not be one of those, or to give the client a good experience. I would say it's a privilege. It's encouraging. You get to wake up and do something you want to do every day. I think that's one of the biggest benefits of doing this.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that, because what else are you gonna do? What else are you gonna do? Right?
I try, but
Yeah. I don't know how to do anything else either, man. I don't even know what I would be doing if it wasn't.
I tried drywall in my house. It took me 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm not a drywaller. I am the plaster bolster, not the drywaller.
Right.
That's for sure.
Well, I wanted to thank you for, allowing us to come up here, and you were skeptical about doing it.
I was.
You were skeptical. You kind of didn't want to do this.
I've been very secretive for a long time.
Yes. And you also questioned me about this. Like, you were like, Dad, I don't think you should be doing this. This is not going to help the industry.
I know. I
You were hard on me.
I was, yeah.
When I first talked to my son about this, about my plans to do this, well, you can say it. You say it.
Yeah, sure. I advised him that I thought it wasn't the best idea, because I've had training classes before where I've had students fly from different parts of the country, and I trained them and did that for a couple of years. And I was sponsored with a couple different companies doing it. I just had a couple bad experiences, and I didn't feel like the trade was respected. I felt like it's easy to take advantage of. And in this industry, there's not a lot of work to go around, right? So when people get greedy and people do things that you don't like, or if not everything's above board, it just doesn't feel right. So all that's water under the bridge at this point. Like, there's no malice towards anyone about anything, but it just, for a while, it kind of jaded me. It made me feel a type of way. And when you told me you were here about it, dude, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is something else. I still think there are some reservations there with certain aspects of it. I think in general, this is a good trade. More people should know about it. I feel like this is going to help keep it alive and encourage more people to ask questions. And in turn, it's going to benefit the homeowner, that more people who are actually educated and who really know what they're doing are going to be out in the field doing that. Being secretive only can last for so long.
Right.
It's time for it to come into the light.
One of the things that I remember I kind of responded to you with was that if you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, if you're trying to honor God, your family, everything you're supposed to be doing, taking care of your clients, taking care of your guys that work with you, then you should never be worried about anyone taking work away from you.
Right.
God's always going to provide for you.
Right.
So for me to give back to someone who's in the same neighborhood as me, or someone who's in the same vicinity of me, I give them a couple pointers. I got to make them a master,
Right.
It takes years for that. But to help someone who's maybe struggling with one of the finishes, or, and maybe I don't have all the answers, because yes, I'm good at what I do, but I don't know everything.
Sure.
Right? And so if I can help someone though, and maybe possibly even help them out of a jam, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to be able to do that for someone. And at the same time, like I said, I'm not worried. I'm really not worried about that, because I've been working. You've been working for a long time. God's provided for you. He's provided for me, and provides for all of us. So for me, I'm not worried about it. Like, if I choose to help someone, then I know that if that person goes and he's ungrateful, because I've had some people who've been very ungrateful after I've given them a lot of different pointers or whatever. But that's fine. I don't expect anything other than thank you. That's it.
Right.
They're good. And if I don't get that, then that's cool too. I look at it like, I'm not trying to get rich off of this. This is something that we're doing for the industry, for all of you that love Plaster, that love our finishes, that love just the feel of it, just everything about it, because there's so much to talk about. We can talk about Plaster for hours, and I think my wife's already tired of me talking about Plaster so much, but we can talk about Plaster for hours. And the industry doesn't need the help from Limeburn. It doesn't. All the vendors out there that have been selling products for how many years? 300 years? Yeah. I mean, products have been around for a very long time. And the vendors today, they don't need our assistance. They've been selling products for centuries. So it's just something that we're doing to give back, and at the same time, to to leave a legacy behind. You know, that's what this is about. This is about that, about the love for the industry and to help our fellow artisans that are out there that are needing a little assistance. So
I think that's good. I think it's really good because
yeah,
there's a lot of bad education out there. I feel like most of it is, and the good stuff is hidden.
right.
Nobody wants to say it. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't want to teach anybody.
Well, yeah, at least you're honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not good for me either because then most people don't know that I do it
Right.
because I don't talk about it. You know, so I think just opening this up and just making it more of a community rather than a competition. I think it's important. It's cool.
Yeah.
What you're doing is cool.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
So hopefully more
Thank you.
people will get involved, and all the people that we don't know of and aren't aware of will come out of the woodwork and
Right.
and want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I know you have some things coming up too. So
Right. Yeah. We're going to have the privilege of being able to walk me out it. You know, they reached out and so I was so excited and so happy about that because Meorage, as you know, they're
they're around for a long time.
yeah, their line, their product line is top of the line.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I use it.
I love it. Yeah.
I love it too. You know, so we're gonna have that privilege of being able to walk their facility. And Gal said he's excited about showing us some new products that are coming out.
Yeah.
And so that's gonna be a privilege to be able to do that with them. You know,
Mhm.
Meorage family, they have left a mark in the industry as being some of the kindest and most humble people. You know, and I'm excited. I'm excited about meeting with them and speaking with them in person and being able to, walk the facility and learn more, There's always something to learn. Always something to learn, man.
Yeah.
I learn something every day. Yeah, you
Yeah,
taught me
sure.
something today, So it's cool. And I'm excited about it. So real quick, I just wanted to also tell you,
Mhm.
I'm excited. I got a call from Jean Chagasti. How do you pronounce his
Oh, Giancarlo.
Giancarlo, right?
I think he goes by John. I don't know.
I know his last name is Sagasti.
Sagasti, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a call. We had a
Cool guy.
interesting conversation. Yeah, he is. My God. Yeah. I thought he was really cool. You know, I wasn't on social media, and then
Yeah.
I've been questioned a lot by family members and friends and stuff. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you've never done anything like that. Or now, yeah, out of a sudden you're doing this. But one of the reasons why I was just, because I want to get on scene so that I can do what I'm doing, And doing the docuseries, it's an honor, it's a privilege to be able to do that. But I feel like Texton, Meorid, Basati, Armor Coat, and there's more. There's a lot more.
Portola.
Portola, Collier, right?
Yeah, sure.
They've been around for a long time. They're like the spearheads of the industry. They're the ones that, they're the pillars.
Sure.
They're the pillars of the industry.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I refer to them as like Ferrari, you know what I'm saying? Lamborghini,
Yeah.
Rolls Royce, because
Yeah.
they're the top of the line industry. Exotic, I just recently tried some of his product. I like the Marmarinos. They're really good. Yeah, it's good stuff.
This Strauss. I've used this Strauss forever.
Yeah, you like these
Yeah,
Strauss?
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the gold ones.
Yeah.
Gold ones. I've been using them.
Yeah, he talked to me. He said he was gonna send me one.
Oh, really?
He does. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was telling me his products from Italy, and so I thought that was pretty cool. I've done some research here lately. There was a family called the Pagliatra family.
Okay.
And they're still around.
Well, everybody would love to hear that, so we should figure that out.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're saying as far as like,
I go to Italy, talk to them.
no, that's part of what we're doing. That's the goal.
Good.
It's to go to Italy. I already found the Pagliatra family.
Good.
They have a glass studio. They don't do Venetian plaster anymore, but they were known for one of the best families in Europe who did Venetian plaster. You see, check this out, guys. Back in the day, Venetian plaster, you couldn't go to a store or a vendor back then and purchase it. There was families who would make it. Like, for instance, this is my son, this is me, and my other son, we do it.
A recipe?
Like a recipe. It would be like we would make our own product. We would go down to this rock quarry over here. This one belonged to us. We would take the limestone out of the ground, out of the mountain, take it back to the house with the donkey and a wagon, throw it into the hot kiln and bake it. And then from there, Aaron would have to get up before the crack of dawn because he's the apprentice. Boom. Get him out. Hey, take it. Throw some water in there. You have to go down to the river, get buckets of water, bring it back, put it in the wagon, mix it. Then you would sit there and mix it. Now it would be a lime-based putty. And that's what they would use to apply it on jobs. So they would actually make the lime 9 times out of 10 at the job sites where they were. So the Pagliatra family was known for making some of the best. They started off as stone cutters. Back in the day, Romans were known for their extensive work of cutting marble, shaping marble with their hands, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Some people still do it.
Yeah,
but it's like
the statue of David. It's a
It's
solid
rare
piece of
enough.
marble. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
these guys were not only craftsmen, they were chemists. These guys were chemists, man.
Yeah.
They were making their own freaking
Yeah, it's
product.
crazy.
Today we order it. Hey, it's late. Why ain't it here yet?
I know. I know.
Today I call Shaman. Where you at, bro? Where's my material at?
Oil.
Yeah, we're spoiled, man. So and then they tint it for us too.
I know, because I used to do tinting for myself
Yeah,
forever.
it's hard.
Oh
It's
my
hard to
God.
recreate something like that. It's hard. It's better for a machine to do it for you.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that these guys that would make their own products, these guys were making it.
Yeah. It's impressive.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, there was a family called Pagliatra family, and according to what I was able to gather from that family was that back then the lime-based putty was just lime-based putty. That's why it's called Venetian plaster, because in the city of Venice, well, they were stone cutters, right? And some guy had the genius idea to throw a little bit of marble dust inside some of the lime putty and became Venetian plaster. And they polished it out and boom, it shined like marble. And the reason why they started using it a lot back then was because there was no electricity. And so they had marble floors. Everything was marble. So what they did was they've had to find, structurally something that was lighter for the walls. So that's why they invented the Venetian plaster on the walls. Why? So that when they lit the candles at night, the light would just reflect and bounce off of everything, and it would literally illuminate the whole room, even though it was dark outside. I've been doing some research on it, man. It's interesting, And the Pagliatra family, like I said, they're still around. They're still there. They own a spot there. They're glass workers now. And I actually called about 2-3 months ago. I called. They answered. I hung up. I don't know what to say. I haven't started it.
So you prank call them.
Kind of,
by
yeah.
accident.
But I'm gonna make that call. So once all this kind of takes off the way I think it's gonna happen,
Yeah.
I think God is blessing it.
Yeah.
God's blessing
Yeah,
the
do that.
idea that
You
we
should do it.
Yeah,
Yeah. You should do that, and you just take a tour of that whole area and figure out what you can do.
yeah. I never been there, and I want to go badly, badly.
Yeah.
I'm drawn to that place.
Funny how many of us that do this have never been there.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking about Giancarlo, I'm sure he's been there plenty of times.
Yeah, he said he's been there for a few times already. But for me, I respect the Europeans because they're the ones that basically, that's where Venetian plaster came from.
Yeah.
It's something where you got to give respect to where respect is due. I feel even though we're Americans and we are we're here in America and we're using a Venetian plaster or we're using European products, that there's nothing wrong with doing that, showing humility and showing love, giving love back to where it belongs.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But yeah, so I'm gonna hopefully, God willing, in the summer I'm gonna go out to Florida and I'm gonna talk to him in person and walk his facility. But the reason why I'm going there, I want to make it very clear, Mr. Giancarlo, is because I want to speak to the artisan. I want to speak to the guy who loves plastering. I want to speak to the guy who's creative. I want to speak to the guy that why. I want to talk to him and ask him why, and how, how he ended up doing what he's doing. Even though we talked already a little bit and he's already elaborated on his story a lot, actually. I feel like a lot of people would like to know.
Right.
A lot of people would like to
That
know.
would do some good, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
See where all our roots are.
Right.
Because we're all connected in some weird way.
Yeah. And I'm actually going to interview the guy who line burned me.
Really?
Really soon, yeah.
Wow.
Really soon. And the guy who taught me how to do plaster or Venetian plasters, he used to work for Techstone back in the day. He doesn't anymore. Now he's doing his own thing out in LA in California. I tried getting hold of him a couple times, but it's been,
forever.
Yeah, it's been 27 years, and I got his phone number. I called him up, and he's like, "Where is this guy? I owe money." He hasn't called me back. I already left him a couple messages, so I'm kind of hoping he remembers me. But he probably trained so many people that yeah, because that's what he did. He trained people.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
But the guy who actually line burned me, who actually taught me how to plaster when I was 17, that's the guy I want to talk to. And he's still working to this day. Wow. He's still plastering. He's still doing concrete. And he's 64 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine he's doing that in 64.
Yeah, he's line burn, man. Yeah. he's never going to stop.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I wanted to say thank you, Angel, for spending time with me today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming to Colorado.
No, yeah. That for me, it was a double-sided coin for me.
Yeah.
Because I got to see you, your brother.
Yeah.
And we got to hang out. Yeah. And I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to you. I'm very grateful to God. I'm very grateful to the industry, to the people who taught me, Yeah. And just likewise. Yeah, everything. So thanks, Dad. Love you, man.